What's crackin', lady and gents? Nerfcore here, and welcome to Series 2 of the Beginner Guide. We'll talk about faction lineups. So now, you've chosen a faction to go with, and you've chosen your damage carry. What's next? Where do you go from here? If you are free to play, just understand that you will not always get what you want the majority of the time in the Summon Tower. As a pay-to-win player, you will need to spend a lot of dollars just to score what you want as well. My tip is to focus on what you can control. First and foremost, that is your patience. That is always the number one rule of this game. You will hit walls all the time, and it is designed that way. Focus on heroes that you can easily get, or for free, using the shopping mall, in the Star Store, the Composition Store, and the Legend Mall. As your first playthrough, you are given characters for free by completing quests and progressing through the game, which gives you a good start. You will get heroes in events for free. Focus on those. That is how you can get immortal heroes quickly. If you don't do that, then you will be one of those people on the forums complaining you've been playing for 2 months and still do not have an immortal hero or two. I did this as a free-to-play player all the way to halfway through to chapter 25 of X-War, coming in second to a pay-to-win player in progression. And I had very little issues at all. Now let's take a look at your faction lineups and my suggestions. So the Superman faction. If you chose Toko as your main damage carry, you will have an easier time progressing. Of course, there will still be walls, but you will be competitive. Toko is the easiest S+ hero to get. You will get her for free in your summon tower if you chose her as your first S+ to summon, and also get her on the 7-day event for free. You also get her from the Composition Store over here. Took me about 20-30 days till I got her, so it'll be a while till you get her. You can also get her on the Union, so it'll take 50 days if you're consistent in getting one puzzle piece of her per day. She is also a choice card in most events if they give a S+ hero choice card for free, and some events actually do. In the summon tower, you get the bless point. This unlocks at a certain amount of summons done. I managed to unlock mine on the 9th day of playing my new account. You can start focusing on getting Toko here, and when the harder to get heroes unlock, which are the bottom ones, and I'll quickly show you a screen capture of my new account, still trying to unlock it, you switch to getting those. Like Pierre, in this case of Superman faction, I've chosen him. He synergizes well with Toko and is in the same union tech as her. But this is more for mid-game. Let's have a look at the shopping mall. So we go to Star Store, and as you can see, you can purchase heroes for 45k interstellar currency. You get this from Star Trek. You do get your first 45,000 very quickly, as well as your next 45k. You get it pretty quickly, so my suggestion is to either get a Houston or an Einstein. I suggest an Einstein. You'll just progress quicker with him in your team. And during your time in early game, you'll eventually find yourself in the Legend Arena in the first group, which is the silver medal group. You will get your first 2,000 very quickly, so my suggestion is to get a General of Rescue. You also do get your next 2,000 very quickly, so you can either save it until that refresh counter ends, and then get another general of rescue, or you can get an Einstein. That's up to you. My final tip is to also pick one hero in each faction you would like to awaken, and that is easy to get from the shopping mall. This makes it easier for you to not get stuck in leveling, allows you to finish off cyber quests, and progress through time travel, which gives you better upgrades. If you look at my Spirit Link station, you can see I've got a Blaze in the tech faction, I've got an Aphra in the nature faction, and I've got an Eddie in the dark faction. Make it easy for yourself as a free-to-play player. So your free-to-play Superman lineup may look like this. So in the beginning, this is literally what I had in the beginning. So I had a Toko, General, Blaze, Einstein, and an Aphra. And your last slot can be any character that you want in the beginning. I believe I had either a Silas or a switch between Silas and Eddie. But preferably you'd want a Pierre. But that's more mid-game as you progress through. As you reach mid to end game, and you have fully awakened your Toko, you can switch to getting a Chloris. So the moment I fully awakened my Toko, I started focusing on Pierre and then Chloris as well. So that's what you can do. Now off to my new account where I focused on the nature faction. The nature faction is another very good faction to start the game with, and they progress through the game very well, just as well as the Superman faction. This faction has great mitigation and survivability. My suggestion to get for your main damage carry is, of course,
under the turbulent
Indira.
sky, I befall lightning.
You will not get her straight away, so you will have to get a Thinker for your first S+ summon in the summon tower. I managed to summon her in the general summon tower because there seems to be a hidden pity summon. I normally get my choice S+ summons eventually after loads of summons of not getting it. So the game seems to give it to you after not getting it for a very long time. I then got her through the Christmas event. Where is she? This one here. That's a guaranteed S+ summon given to you for free. So I normally wait for events, and there are some events that give you a free S+ summon or the character for free. You will also save enough faction diamonds over here to get her in the faction summon store while progressing through and completing space discovery. So if you complete space discovery here, you'll start to get the faction summon scrolls. I suggest you get a Thinker for your secondary S+ hero to get. He's got very good shields, very good heals once you upgrade his exclusive equipment. He's got very good mitigation. It'll make your nature team very, very tanky. And he's very useful in a lot of aspects of the game. So what free-to-play lineup should you get for the nature faction? Let's take a look at the shopping mall. So in the Star Store, you can get a Lucy for 45k interstellar currency, and you get that currency from the Star Trek. You do get your first 45,000 very, very quickly, and your next 45k as well. Lucy is really good to get as a secondary damage carry with Indira. They are both in the same union, and they synergize really well together. In the Legend Mall, you'll eventually meet the arena and get silver medals. I suggest you either get a Lucy or a Silas. In this case, I went with Silas actually, because I kept getting him in the summons, so I thought might as well. And I've almost got him to transcend. Let's have a look.
Evolution.
Well, I can get him to
Super
transcend because I've got the hero choice cards from the events. So like this one. And I still have my medals to purchase him if I wanted. So in about 2 weeks, you can pretty much get him. So as you can see, I'm almost at my 3rd week, but I could have gotten him on my 2nd week very easily to transcend. So that's how quickly you can upgrade your heroes or awaken them. As I advised in my Superman faction portion of this video, I suggest you picking one hero from each faction to help with leveling, cyber quests, and time travel. On this account, I'd be choosing Houston.
It seems that your understanding of
Blaze,
Die under my blade with
and
my guitar will
Eddie.
rock your soul.
I haven't leveled Eddie because I've been getting a lot of Superman faction summons. So once I do the switch, I'll switch out
I make the stop hard
General of
beats,
Rescue
and
for
the beating
Eddie.
heart stops.
What I really wanted to get, I didn't get, like the Forest of
I am the
Avatar
wrath
as my
of the
secondary
Chopper.
damage carry. So I will have to utilize the Bless Point in the Summon Tower to get him. And the first month login reward. This one here. You focus on what you can control. You can also choose Sally in place of Forest of Avatar if you want, but she is also not easy to get. My suggestion for you is to save up your blue diamonds. So as you can see, I have 19k on top to be saved for events and other important blue diamond purchases. This is one way I get cheaper summon scrolls and other event goodies like faction summon scrolls and cheaper upgrade equipment material in the early game. Now let's take a look at your faction lineup. So this is how it could look like for you. So you've got Thinker, Blaze, Silas, Afra, Lucy, and Indira. You can switch out Lucy for Force of Avatar or Sally. This is still a very strong lineup that you see here as well. Sally has damage reduction when you upgrade her exclusive equipment, so you have even more mitigation. So it's a very tanky team with a very, very strong carry. So you will progress really fast. So once you've maxed out your Indira, or awakened her to Immortal, then you can start working on your Thinker. And then you can start using your faction diamonds on getting a Logan, this character here.
Oh, it.
It's a very
This
good
is the
character to
power
work
I have,
on mid
and the
to
price
end
I
game.
paid.
Now a look into my Dark Faction account. As I've mentioned in other videos, I am not a fan of starting off with the Dark Faction. The progress is slower, but if you are so inclined to want to start with them, then let's take a look. So for your damage carries, I would suggest either
I
going
brought the tinder of
Anna.
hell.
Your God
King of Hell.
created 2 hills.
and
I'm
Okay.
second to none. Not
I know
worth
she's not
mentioning.
Dark Faction, but it will help with progress easier. In this case, I chose
The
Anna,
expanding
because most
desire
people
will
choose her when they
tear
go
your
Dark Faction.
soul.
You get her for free on your first S+ summon in the Summon Tower, and you also get a free copy of her from the 7-day carnival 2 weeks in when playing the game. So that's 2 easy copies. Unfortunately, I didn't get her in the 7-day carnival because I chose to stop playing this account in the beginning. And I just started it up again, and really just to trial Dark Faction. I would suggest as your second S+ character to go with her is the King of Hell. He is a very strong character when you do manage to unlock him. Let's take a look at more of your free-to-play lineup. So you can go Medusa. You get her for free in your first summon in the summon store if you did choose her for your first pick. You also get her in the Bless Point, so I'll be getting her in the Bless Point. So when that unlocks. Medusa is in the same union tech as Anna and are both control characters, so they both synergize well together. She is a bit harder to get because you cannot get her in the shopping mall until you hit Legend Arena in the Gold League. Now let's take a look at the shopping mall. In the Star Store, you can either get a Behemoth or an Eddy for interstellar currency, and as I've mentioned in previous portions of this video, you get this from Star Trek. You get the first 45k very quickly and your next 45k as well, so you can use that on either Behemoth or Eddy. In the Decomp store, you can get a Gunnable. You can have him as your main tank if you want, but this time around I have chosen Blaze for main tank. In the Legend Arena or Legend Mall, you'll find yourself in the Silver League in the beginning, so you can either choose a Behemoth or an Eddy as well. Once you get to the Gold League, then you can get your Medusa, otherwise that'll be a while till you get that. One thing I forgot was Van Helsing. He's actually quite good. He's also in the same union tech as Anna and Medusa, so it's beneficial to go him instead of Eddy, but I'll leave that up to you. As I've mentioned earlier in the previous faction portion of the video, choose one character from each faction to go with your lineup, or just for leveling, cyber quest, and time travel. So that'll be Blaze for the tech faction. For the nature faction, you can go Aphra or Silas if you want. You're Silas. For the Superman faction, you can go Einstein or Houston, or even General of Rescue. Your free-to-play lineup would look like this in the beginning. So you'll have maybe a Behemoth, Blaze, Aphra, Anna, Houston, Medusa, or you can possibly have a Gunnable, an Eddy instead, or a Van Helsing instead of Eddy, but your mid-game would likely look more like this. When you get to mid to end game, you can switch to getting Godslayer. So there's Godslayer here.
What
This character
tranquilizes
here.
me is only the sense of blood.
He's hard to get, so you'll have to use your faction diamonds to get him in the summon tower. So this one here. So that's what I actually did in my main account. I switched to Chloris because I've already got my Toko to Immortal, so I started working on Pierre and Chloris, so you can do the same with your Dark faction. So that'll be, once you get Anna to Immortal, you'll be working on King of Hell and then Godslayer. Now for the technology faction. I was meaning to make an account focusing on the tech faction, but playing 3 accounts was already too much to handle. You can be the pioneer though. I have not seen anyone go tech faction to start the game with. However, if I were to do it, I would get Toko as my main damage carry,
but it's hard to maintain.
coupled with Ronin,
The enemy of swordmanship is a
getting him to Epic Plus or Legendary Plus. They both go well together as they are both in the same union tech. After that, I would either go Rex
you back to the Cretaceous.
or
Whatever.
Laura.
I'll bring you down with me.
I'd be leaning more on Laura to get, as she is harder to get of the two and does well in Arena. When you're also a beginner or you've just created your account, at least in the first week, you do get a Laura's event. This is your chance to get a copy of her, or 2 copies, or multiple copies if you want to spend your dollars. Let's take a look at the characters you should be getting as a free-to-play tech player. So in the shopping mall, in the Star Store, you should of course get Blaze, without a doubt, an amazing tank. In the Decomp store, it'll definitely be Toko, and then after you get her to Immortal and awaken her, get a camp. In the Legend Mall, it'll be definitely combat type. Evil Bot is also a good choice because he increases damage taken by his target, which is also stackable, much like what Ronin does. As I've mentioned in the Superman, Nature, and Dark faction portion of this video, you must pick one character from each faction to awaken and use in your Spirit Link. In this case, if I was a tech player, I'd choose Aphra, the one that's sold out on this one. You get multiple copies of her for free, at least in the beginning. Then I would be choosing Eddie, since you get a copy of him for free in Space Discovery. And finally, I would just stay with Toko for the Superman faction. She will be easy to level as you will be focusing on her. One character that I haven't mentioned, which you normally get a lot of, is the Iron Giant. This character.
I will protect Africa.
As you progress through to mid-game, all the way to end-game, you will get so many copies of him. You can definitely use him. He's very useful as a support tank. He adds shields, he heals, and he also increases his lion's attack depending on their HP levels. So he is still recommended. You can't focus on him as a free-to-play player, but you will get a lot of him. Now let's take a look at your free-to-play technology lineup, at least when you first begin. Okay, so it'll look very likely like this in the beginning, and then as you hit mid-game, you're gonna get a lot of Iron Giants, and then you're eventually gonna start working on Laura. So it'll probably look like this near the mid to end game. As of the recording of this video, you cannot get Kinley at the faction summon store just yet, but if you can, she's also a very good choice. She's like a mini Toko, and she can basically take on whatever line you want. That does it for the Beginner Guide Series 2 for your free-to-play faction lineups. I'll see you in Series 3. Thanks for watching my current favorite game, X-Hero.